I'm Kristin with the OMAM Memorial Art Museum, and this is a member of my family, Django, and we'd like to welcome you to Family Art Night. Tonight, we're going to show you how to make a shadow puppet theater just like this. It's super fun to decorate and create, and then it's hours of fun to play with afterward. So come with us, and let's gather our supplies.
Here are some supplies you'll need. Some scissors, glue, a glue gun, ribbon, tape, a couple sticks. You might even want to use some foil or any other kind of embellishments you have around the house. Paintbrushes, a pencil, paint, of course, your family, and a cardboard box and some cardboard scraps.
Before we get started, let's take a peek inside the puppet theater. Mine's called the Star Theater. So I painted a sun. I tied mine together with a ribbon to hold it closed, and it has two little twig doorknobs on the front. But as you're working, you can think of any theme you want. Inside, I have more stars on the inside of my doors. And then I created some 3D flowers and grass. So you can do anything you want. Oh, another member of my family's here. Hi, Chet. We're ready to get started, and the first supplies you'll need to gather are a pair of scissors, a pencil, your cardboard box, and a sheet of typing paper. Lay your box flat on your workspace, and then lay a piece of typing paper on the back of the box toward the center. Use your pencil and trace all the way around the piece of paper. Now you should have a rectangle drawn on the back of your box. We're going to cut that out to create a window like this box over here. Sometimes cutting cardboard can be really difficult, so this might be a good time for you to ask your parents for help and use the scissors to cut out the window in the back of your box. We just cut a window out of the back of our box, so you should now have something that looks like this. I also cut one flap off the bottom of the box. So now we have 3 flaps on our box and a window in the middle. And now it's time to paint. I just finished putting the first coat of paint on my theater. I painted the inside with some waves, and the outside, for now, I just painted white. I'm going to come back and add some more decoration to that later. But for right now, I'm going to set it aside to dry. And I'm going to use some of these cardboard scraps that we have to create some of these 3D elements inside the theater. So for this one, I did flowers and grass, but for this theater, since it's going to be an underwater theme, I'm going to cut out some coral and also some underwater plants. Here are some of the shapes I cut out that I'll be adding inside my theater. I have some coral and some water plants. And I'm going to show you one more thing before we move forward. You can see how with this theater, the plants that I added inside are pretty low toward the bottom of the theater because this area we're going to be using for puppets. So we don't want our plants to grow too high up into the theater because then they would block this area that we're going to use for puppets. So keep them pretty short. And now I'm going to show you how I get them to stand up inside of the theater. And I do that by making some little braces like this. So you can take a piece of cardboard and cut some thin strips out. Take one of these thin strips and you're going to bend it into a triangle. Use your glue gun. Have your parents help you with the glue gun. Put a little dab of glue there. hold it for just a few seconds, and then you'll have this little triangle that you can attach to the back of your shapes, and that is going to help them stand up inside of your theater. So you can attach it to the back, just like that. Now it stands up. I've given everything a little bit of time to dry, so now I'm going to add my 3D elements into my theater. And I did want to mention, if you don't have a glue gun, you can use Elmer's glue for any of this. It just might take a little bit more time to dry. So since I have a glue gun, I'm going to use my glue gun to put a little dab of glue on the bottom of each of these. And definitely have your parents help if you are using a glue gun, because it can get super, super hot. And just place these elements wherever you want them to go inside your theater. There we go. Hey, Biscuit decided to come to Family Art Night, and we want to show you what we've done so far on the theater. I added some more detail with the painting. I added some knobs on the front that are made out of rolled up pieces of cardboard that I glued on. I trimmed this flap to be a different shape, and then I also added a brace to help hold this flap up. On the inside, I painted more detail, and I also added some sparkly ribbon. The next thing we're going to do is give our theater a name, and then we're going to turn it around and tape a piece of white typing paper onto the back. And after we do those two things, we'll be ready to make some shadow puppets. Thanks for joining me and my family this week for Family Art Night. I hope you had fun making your puppet theater, and I hope you'll come back next Friday when we'll be making articulated puppets, which are puppets with moving parts that you can use in your theater. So we'll see you then.